Abaújvár is a village in northeastern Hungary, next to the Slovakian border. It lies 72 kilometers northeast of Miskolc, and 18 kilometers south of Košice, Slovakia. History. In addition to Sparta in Heves County, from the 11th–14th centuries, Abaújvár Castle was the main place of residence for the Aba family, the second ethnic royal house of Hungary and one of the most important Hungarian families of the time. The first known written record pertaining to Abaújvár dates back to 1046, but presumably an earth castle stood here much earlier. The new stone castle was built by King Samuel Aba. In the years that followed the bloodiest battle of the medieval Hungary, the Battle of Rozgany, the castle of Abaújvár became more or less a place of bad memories for the Aba family. June 15, 1312 fell on a Thursday, so during the following 2 days all efforts were made to make certain that the wounded and the bodies of the dead be brought from the Rozgany battlefield, some 18 kilometers away, to Abaújvár for care and burial before Sunday, the Lord's Day. By the end of the month some 800 bodies were buried within the inner yard of the castle grounds. Perhaps it was because of this that the new king, Charles Robert of Anjou, had a very hard time to find a new master for the place. Shortly thereafter the story of the haunted castle developed into a legend. In 1345, King Charles Robert's Sicilian supporters, Nicholas, Philip, and William Drugev, gave Abaújvár to the Augustinians free. However, since the Drugev brothers never owned the property in the first place, the property was taken away from the Augustinians in 1351, and during the same year, with the approval of the king, the Augustinian order received the village Monyhad in Sayros County. In 1394, the castle and the surrounding land was given by Sigismund, Holy Roman Emperor, into a trust and the care of a minor local aristocratic family under the condition that they would finance additional fortification of the Abaújvár castle, while the Perényi family gained local importance after the Battle of Rozgany by giving the support to King Charles Robert of Anjou against the Aba. Unfortunately, even several decades later they were not in a financial position to carry on with needed fortification. Eventually King Sigismund's treasury allocated some funds for the fortification of the castle. However, the Perényi used the money to build for themselves a family chateau on their own estate. This mistake proved to be dear for the realm itself. In 1441, when Jan Žižka, a Czechoslovak warlord, seized Abaújvár for ransom, the Perényi family could not raise even a small portion of the 24,000 gold ducats demanded by Hussite rebels. During the Middle Ages, the castle was located on an important trade route within the Kingdom of Hungary leading to the northern neighboring Kingdom of Poland. However, after the Battle of Mohacs, the Abaújvár castle lost its military significance and became of lesser importance. The first squatters and settlers started to build the mud houses under the castle walls during early 1700s. The 1715 census shows 18 inhabitants residing in 6 mud households located under the castle walls. By 1870 there were already 737 inhabitants living in the village. Abaújvár census for the following years: 1880 to 838, 1890 to 761, 1900 to 796, 1910 to 763, 1920 to 783, 1930 to 751, 1941 to 724, 1949 to 768, 1960 to 726, 1970 to 640, 1980 to 403, 1990 to 328, 2001, 326. The last 2 centuries, The proximity to the city of Kassa has made Abaújvár a place of interest for many settlers. The 19th and 20th century exodus of Jews from Poland, Ukraine, and Russia made up a significant portion of the new population. The 20th century land reforms became also an incentive for displaced and poverty-stricken people from other parts of Felvidik. On the one hand, the population growth brought prosperity to the region. On the other hand, the newcomers greatly contributed to the devastation of the historical appearance of Abaújvár. Within less than 100 years of continued construction of new residential homes, the local population had totally dismantled the entire castle and its fortification walls to use the stone as a raw material for building their houses, destroying one of Hungary's most important historical sites. What was once a center of the Second Hungarian ethnic royal house and the pride of the Hungarian statehood became nothing more than an unmarked cemetery, which even today, the majority of Hungarians are not aware of. When we try to analyze the devastation of Abaújvár Castle, the most diplomatic explanation one can offer is that the 19th and 20th century war conditions and the lack of appropriate laws relating to the protection of historical sites in Hungary during the Habsburg rule had a great deal to do with what happened to Abaújvár. To this day, the castle and the village bear Samuel Aba's name, and it actually means Aba's new castle. On the surface, the castle does not exist anymore. However, attempts are on the way to repair the castle hilltop with stone retaining walls. The local historical society intends to rebuild some of the original wood fortification, main castle gate, and old castle church. The castle gave its name to the historical Abaúj county. At the present time, the castle grounds provide a resting place to several key members of the Aba family and another 800 knights slain during the Battle of Rozgany on June 15, 1312. Infrastructure. Highways and roads. There is a very poor road infrastructure to and from Abaújvár. Providing you are traveling Abaújvár from Budapest, Miskolc, Hungary, or going south from Kassa, the best way is take Highway E79, E71 to Hudsznemeti. The town of Hudsznemeti is only 4 kilometers south of the Slovak-Hungarian state border. This part of the highway is in reasonably good shape. From Hudsznemeti you will need to travel east towards Gonk, Hungary, and then 3 kilometers past the town take a left turn those Ujta to Abaújvár. There are other mountain and country roads from the southeast and north, however, it is not advisable to travel them over the winter season. The closest gas station to Abaújvár is in Gonk, Hungary, and there are 2 gas stations across the border in Kecnek, Slovakia. Local bus service is slow and limited, however, it provides an interesting experience for a one-time visitor. Rail system. There is a major international train artery through Hudsznemeti. The intercity has a pleasant and considerably clean train service. Air services. Košice International Airport is located 20 kilometers from Abaújvár. Medical services. Abaújvár has a local dentist, and limited medical services are offered at the Gonk Medical Center. The closest hospital is in Sakso on the Highway E79, E71, just 12 kilometers north of Miskolc. The city of Miskolc has a regional hospital. Local infrastructure. The residents of the village of Abaújvár enjoy natural gas connection to the houses, running water, and a central sewerage system. There is no post office in the village and there is only a small convenience store run by a local person that mostly carries very limited food stock, but sells various alcohol and beer over the counter. There is no school in town. The community provides subsidized food catering service, including delivery, to its seniors. Community. The village was the hometown of Harry Meir, who founded Meir Dental, which became the 3rd largest dental supply company in the United States. Economy. Natural disasters. Nearby villages. Kekt Panyok Z Sushta nearest town.